think I might have brought the wrong bike.
The Tailfin has been on my wish list for about 2 years now. In fact, it's one of the main reasons why I went to the London Bike Show last year. For those of you who've never heard of Tailfin, what it is, it's a lightweight rack. It only weighs 350 grams that attaches to your bike without the need of braze-ons or bolt-ons because it uses an axle to attach the rack to your bike, and then the lightweight panniers go onto that rack. So that's what it is, and I'll show you the installation process in a bit. The reason why I was interested in the Tailfin is because I didn't feel like large saddlebags were the option for me for lightweight touring or bike packing. So the reason for that is I didn't like the thought of the sway of a large saddlebag on the back of my bike, but I really didn't like the thought of the faff of the packing of a saddlebag that size, and the fact that you have to pack your heaviest stuff in first, so you have to pack a certain way to reduce the sway of the saddlebag. I didn't like the thought of having to get at something in that bag during the day, or even unpacking and packing it at the end of the day when you're tired. So I didn't want to deal with the faff of a saddlebag. I didn't want the sway of a saddlebag, and I've also heard people say there's some rubbing sometimes with your legs if the saddlebag's too wide. I did attempt a saddlebag last summer, but the one I ordered, the buckle was too big to attach it to my bike. I couldn't get it over the saddle rails, and the only way to make it work with my setup was to change my saddle position, which I didn't want to do. So I sent that saddlebag back, and I just kept watching Tailfin, had it on my wish list, was saving up for it. A short while ago, Tailfin contacted me, and it turns out they're a Bristol-based company, which is amazing. I didn't even realize that. So I went down and met them and learned more about the Tailfin and their new upcoming aero pack that they're releasing this summer. And they asked if I wanted to try their product. So of course I said yes. I mean, it's on my wish list. So how cool is that? So I've used it a few times. And last weekend I went on a ride to Reading, so 150K. And some surprise terrain was involved in that ride. I've given the bag a decent test so far, a few hundred kilometers and some various terrain. And so I thought I'd give you my feedback on how I feel about it so far and if it's working out for me. Installation of the Tailfin is pretty easy. You swap out your axle for their axle. So it is compatible with both through axles and quick release axles. The only thing I would improve on the installation process is instructions for through axle, because it is a touch bit different than the quick release, and the instructions all use the quick release as the example. Once you get the through axle in there and in position, you attach the rack. 3 clips, so one on each side of the axle and then one on the seat post. Now the seat post clip is for stability, but to be honest, I actually think it's pretty stable without it, but it's nice to have that backup. So it literally takes, once you've installed the axle, a few seconds to take the rack on and off your bike. So if you want your road bike as a normal road bike, off the rack goes. You can then put it back on quick and easy to use the bags when you want. So I'm riding up to London, well not London, Reading, and then the train to London. I don't think my legs quite have 200k in them yet. So a little bit of training for the ODAX and going to London. And this is my setup today. So my overnight bag is the Tailfin, so it's a proper trial for Tailfin. So I was debating today whether to use 2 bags or 1. 2 bags to help balance it. But I always find if you have 2 bags, you fill 2 bags. So trying to keep lightweight, I've kept with 1. But I think if it was a longer journey, I would balance the weight more. I think it's healthier for the bike, for the wheel and everything. So anyway, yeah, we'll see how the ride goes, but I couldn't have asked for better weather. It's a bit nippy, about 4 degrees, feels like 1, but yeah, I think it's tailwinds. So let's hit the road.
I'm a sorry soul.
So the other thing I'm testing today is Komoot, and it's really good. It tells you all the surfaces and how how far you're going to be on each surface. There was some cycle trails that had a gravel surface, it did say, but because it rained so much this week and last night, it's a bit mucky and it's slowing me down. So perhaps I should have adjusted the route to accommodate for the weather, but this is sort of what I'm dealing with. I hate to think what my backside looks like.
still struggle to know.
80k in, so about 50k to go. It's a bit slow going because of the surface of the road. A lot of these roads, they're gravel, but they're pretty fun and they're pretty good. I'd be having a ball if I was on the diverge, but I'm in forest right now with a road that is, so there's potholes, but the surface is pretty good. But yeah, it's making the ride interesting, and my bike is filthy. Look, guys. Ah. Oh, poor bike. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god. I'd be spending hours when I get back. But anyway, it is a beautiful day. I have an amazing tailwind, which is keeping spirits up. And the tail fin, honestly, guys, it's I don't even know it's there. It doesn't rattle, it doesn't move, it doesn't sway, and yeah, and I guess we'll find out if it's waterproof because it's gone through puddles galore, but it's performing like brilliantly. When I go up hills, obviously I notice the extra weight, but that's what's in the bag. Is impressive. I don't even notice it on the bike until I hit a hill, and then that's my own fault for the 8 pounds I've loaded on my bike. It's solid, it doesn't rattle, it doesn't move, it doesn't sway. The system is amazing. It's just so easy to install, so easy to use. I love the way you can secure the latch. The quick release on the or leaves are great, but I always worried in London someone would snatch my bag at a light. So I know that you can't do that with this bag, so riding around London right now, it's you know, something I don't have to worry about. So yeah, check out their website. I'll put the link in the description below. And if you have a carbon bike you want to commute on that doesn't have braze-ons, then it's a good solution to not having a backpack and when you can't use a rack. And for lightweight touring or going away for the weekend, it's brilliant. So 100% I was off-road on this. Didn't hear a rattle, didn't fear it was coming loose, not once. And normal panniers, they usually rattle a bit when you're hitting the bumps. So yeah, really, really, really impressed. Oh, what's going on? Something's caught his eye.